All right, everybody, welcome to this Friday episode of, an hour with Charles, Cha Rules. You can ask any and all questions, feel free. I give free consultations. All my resources and efforts are free for everybody to try to help enlighten the populace to raise the vibration and frequency so we can all be more clearly understanding the way things are, because we're not taught it on purpose. So I had a beautiful week. Missed a week. I didn't feel like coming on, but I just got back from Mexico. I was out there in Playa del Carmen, and I went scuba diving for the first time in my life. We got there. It was a daggone tropical storm. People's umbrellas were flipping out inside out and stuff. Driving around in Mexico, and oh my gosh, the resorts in Mexico are insane. They are so huge, like anything and everything you could ever want. There was like all you could eat buffets and stuff for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This resort had three different restaurants plus different buffets and stuff. Nice little beach section. The room came with all you can drink, like tickets and stuff. They had entertainment there. They're doing shows. I mean, it was a really cool resort. It's almost like you go there and you don't leave, and that's not really what I like to do when I go to a place, because somebody invited me. It was their trip, but I just kind of got invited, and I normally like going to experience the culture. So I did go to see a ruins. It's called Chichen Itza, very big pyramid. Three structures on top of each other, on top of a well. And I played basketball in high school. I don't know about y'all, but I got to see where basketball started from, with the Mayan, Aztec, daggone little ring where and it's crazy. Like, you can't use your hands. You got to get this rubber ball through this freaking hole that's like 12 foot up in the air, and the winner gets to get beheaded. Like, that's their ultimate goal and pride and joy, is after they score, the captain gets to get beheaded, and it's like an honor, and they fight for that, and it's wild. I'm like, these people are fighting their butt off to try to get beheaded. That is wild. All right, I see a question. Let me back up from your follower Slickvic. I swear I saw a question. Did I scroll too far? The JNA. What's the first move to getting things detached from my social security number? Well, I would say the first thing is stop calling it your social security number, because it's not yours. It is the Social Security Administration's. And according to the public codes, if you use a social security number, you are a federal personnel. So every U.S. citizen is a federal personnel that uses a social security number because they're engaged in a federal benefits program. So that is the first thing I would understand, is that the Social Security number is not yours. It is just a tax identification number for an individual trust that was classified as an individual trust by the IRS, that basically funnels money from us dumb sheep that work all day on the plantation to send money to the crown. So it's not you, it's not your Social Security number. It's just a tax identification number for a corporate entity that you can do business with, should you so choose to do. All right, let's see if we go back down. Was there any other questions? All right, cool. Yeah, so luckily I didn't have bachata tonight. I guess because of the holy day, turkey burger holy day. They put it off till next week, so I get a nice little night in to relax and figure I'd hop on here. I missed last week, and again, I just posted a video last night. I was gonna post it earlier, but because of the holy day, I didn't want to. And I'm saying that as a mockery, because that's actually what it means. It does mean holy day, and everybody's there celebrating, getting rid of all the native Indians and stuff like that, which is crazy. But anyway, for me, it's not for me anyway. I don't practice Christmas or Thanksgiving. It's just not my cup of tea. But anyway, luckily I don't have to do bachata tonight. And what else was I saying? Yeah, I just dropped a video. So, and what TikTok's been doing now is, as soon as I post a video, like immediately, as soon as I post it, they're like, click on this link and promote your video. So it will actually go to people, because they're like, we ain't putting your stuff out no more. So it's like, here, pay $20 and it'll go to 3,000 people. And I'm like, kick rocks, yo, that's crazy. And so, but it's like before they even view it, know what it's about or nothing. They don't have my handler, don't look at it. I'm just set on like automatic tab to where it's just like throttled down 300%. You got to pay in order for my content to go out, and it kind of sucks, but it just is what it is. But it's their platform, and I'm lucky to come on here. I have helped thousands and thousands of people, so I am very, very grateful in that. But aside from that, it's hard to reach people and teach people if I'm just being throttled down by 90%. Luckily, they haven't cut my lives as much as they used to, and my videos aren't getting flagged anymore. They're just getting no traffic. They're just pumping down to barely anything. Whoa, I just had some weird stuff happening on my screen over here. I see tons of y'all on. Let's see. All right, no questions. Cool. Well, feel free, guys. Like I said, I set aside an hour, like once a week. Normally I'll come on. The only way to know if I'm going live typically is to either subscribe to me, or you can join my Telegram group where I'll give basically notice before I'm about to come on here. And I spend an hour to help reach and teach anybody, any and all questions. You can feel free to ask anything about nature, spirit, and commerce. That's what my walk is for laying those foundations for everybody to grow and lay down and grow upon, to build upon. These foundations that I'm laying can't be shaken, and I have tried them through the test of time, and people come at me in all different directions, and they have different views and different opinions, and I listen to them, and I basically say, like, this is my understanding because I've been studying this stuff for 13 years. And my little camera wants to fall a little bit. Let's see if I can get this. Oh, I know what I gotta do. I gotta pinch it. I gotta pinch its little butt. There you go. Pinch it. Let's see if it'll stay down a little bit. Nope, still just my head. I'm just gonna be a talking head for the rest of my life. Well, that's how y'all know me as anyway. So anyway, all the stuff that I've put out for y'all, all my playlists. If you go on my website, I have tons, years and years and years of, just tons of good free information to help enlighten everybody. It's like all the stuff that I listen to, all my audio files. I'm a very lucky individual that's been able to have a full-time job while also being able to study full-time. And I've done that for many, many years, and not a lot of people are in a privileged position to do that. I might need to change my screen because it literally does just look like I'm ahead. But if I lean back, I don't know if I'm too quiet. So let's see if I can make it brighter. Let's see. Boom. Oh, big old, there's my skin. So how's everybody doing out there? I feel very, very lucky to have gone into the middle of a what do you call it? A tropical depression, and been able to enjoy some Mexican culture. Me being a vegan, traveling to these Latin countries is sometimes kind of difficult because a lot of the foods are not vegan friendly at all, unless I want to just go outside and eat grass and stuff. But in the hotel, this resort, I swore I thought it was a raccoon, and it was one time at night, but they have these little Mexican raccoons that have like long tails and these little long noses, and they're just walking around. And then they have peacocks and flamingos just walking around like around the hotel, and it was amazing. The financial, these resorts were so huge in Mexico. Like, it was insane the amount of money. I can only imagine what it took to. And then I had to catch a ferry to a little island on Mexico, and I kid you not, I saw the biggest cruise ship I'd ever seen in my life. That thing had to have 25 levels. That thing probably housed 3,000 people at least. I'm just looking at the thing like, dang, I can imagine having to change all the sheets on that sucker. Like all the toilets that get clogged on that thing, just to feed everybody. Oh my gosh. Anyway, it was the biggest ship of not ship, but the biggest cruise liner that I've seen like forever. But scuba diving was really cool. It was a brand new experience for me. I've done a little bit of like snorkeling and stuff, but never a full freaking scuba tank on with the buoyancy control, all that stuff going down. They made us, or wanted us to do. I had to do a 45-minute training class inside of a pool, and then they that's all that was needed in order to dive into the water and we did two different dives for 45 minutes at 45 feet deep. and the first one was all around coral. And it was so funny. I'm like swimming down, I'm looking at these little fish, and they're looking at me like, what are you doing here, Holmes? Like, it was like, I felt like I was like invading on the privacy, like two teenagers trying to make out in the coral behind the bleachers, and I'm just like, they're all up in their territory, and they're like, you don't even belong here, like, what are you doing? But I saw this huge parrotfish. Oh, and I saw a manta ray. It was probably had a 10-foot wingspan on this thing, and I wanted to go diving with the whale sharks. That might be something that I do one day, but the worst part is trying to get your ears to pop. I had to blow my nose so hard, like you have to pinch your nose and blow it in order to regulate your eardrums. And I swear I thought I was gonna blow my head off. I had pressure coming in and trying to blow it out, and it was just like, oh my gosh. But you have to do that like every couple feet. Every couple feet that you go down, you have to regulate your ear pressure. Like everything starts getting condensed. It's more like atmospheric and more pressure like the further you go down. And my stuff was popping and cracking, and you can't do normal stuff like you do in an airplane, like yawn and open your mouth, all that stuff, because you got a regulator in your mouth and stuff. And I sucked through almost 200 pounds of oxygen in 45 minutes. Like the girl that was with me only used like 25, and I mean, I'm 6'3" almost, and you know, the breaths I take, we had to learn certain basic protocols, like when you're out of air, you gotta like cross your chest. It's like halfway for the cross of when you're saying someone's about to die, so you gotta do this move and then take their regulator and stuff. What's up, Violet Flame? How you doing? Thanks for jumping on my live again. Guys, recap of this live will be on YouTube. The audio will be in my Telegram group. Feel free to listen to all the playlists that I've created on my TikTok profile. You can ask any and all questions. I have tons of free information for auxiliary information on my website that you can browse around on. The playlists I've created, I've spent a lot of time to try to help everybody and educate everybody on a case-by-case basis. I come on here once a week, spend an hour to try to help anybody that has any questions or has any issues that they've been facing. I am severely shadow banned. It's just is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. I am teaching a very unique niche of basically doctrine. Well, not doctrine, but I'm teaching how to be educated outside of the public mainstream narratives, and that just does not bode well with a lot of the controllers that rule and control all the big corporations that dictate everything, including our education and monetary systems and food supplies and stuff like that. So thanks, Joey, appreciate it. Well, that's just part of my walk. You know, I've gone down a lot of wrong rabbit trails and taken and watched a lot of mentors go down the wrong rabbit trails and get arrested. And when I see people that are running around with half knowledge, half cocked, ready to run, and they don't understand the foundations, or they don't understand like the truth and the knowledge that's behind everything, you can get hurt and hemmed up real quick. Like the sovereign and court stuff, like it's a lot to it. I tell a lot of people a lot of times that if you ain't super learned, like don't even attempt this stuff. You will go to jail. You will get hemmed up. Like it's not a little kid's game. This is big boy stuff, big girl stuff. Ronan, hello, peace be upon you. Peace be upon you too. You got a cute little puppy dog in your little logo. So anyway, again, guys, just to re-elaborate, like you feel free to ask any and all questions, because I give free consultations on anything that deals in the natural realm, the spiritual realm, or commerce, the commercial realm, which is the interaction and exchange of any and all things. Like you cannot move or do anything without commerce. The commercial light is the moon. That's the one that segues between spiritual and spirit and nature, and we're all tied together in all these lights. And I lay those foundations because those are the, you know, we are basically light body beings. We have a natural body and we have a spiritual body, and we're not taught much about any of that stuff. We're not taught properly about any of it. I mean, any of it. And it gets kind of frustrating because people feel so much more comforted in a lie than the harsh reality of truth. Like they don't want to hear the truth because it goes against everything they feel comfortable being. Like they love being boxed and bound by written law and stuff like that. So, and I just watched this morning, I watched a beautiful movie, and I don't know if y'all have seen it or not, but it's called Jones Plantation. And I don't even know how long that thing's been around, But this movie's called Jones Plantation, and it is a beautiful analogy of how the United States is ran just like a plantation farm, and how they keep everybody in lock, and how they keep everybody with the illusion of freedom while maintaining their job, and basically just in shackles that they can't see instead of shackles that they could see. And how the movie started out was the guy was worried that his slaves were going to uprise against him, and so this guy came in and was talking about how human minds are complex, so you have to kind of set up a complex structure in order to blind them, in order to keep them bound, in order to keep them in the guide rails and stuff like that. And the movie was amazing. They offered up two different political points of view that they could vote for, where it was like, it don't matter who wins, like, and they created their own little form of currency, which was phony money that they could use, that they were going to pay them for working all day and stuff like that. And it's just such a beautiful little analogy. And in the movie, they're literally saying, you can run the world with this analogy. And the guy who runs the plantation, he's like, I don't want to run the world. I'm just trying to run my plantation. And the guy who's teaching him all this stuff goes, it doesn't matter what the scale is. You can scale it down to a tiny little coffee shop, or you can scale it up to an entire continent. This is how you control the entire world. And he's laying out all of these different ways and systems of how we all get blinded and deceived into working 9 to 5s every single day for a paycheck and getting pennies on the dollar that all go back to Caesar anyway. So it's just an amazing movie that I suggested. I posted it in my Telegram group because it's just one of those things where it's like when something like that comes along, I just think it's really worth everybody getting into. So again, I give free consultations, so you can DM me or email me, or you can write me on this DMs or in the comment section if you want. I didn't know about coming on tonight because of the holiday. I didn't know if there'd be a lot of people out there or not, but I missed last week, so I figured I'd go ahead and hop on tonight and try to help anybody out. And I can talk for days, but if there's nobody out there that really wants to get enlightened or learn anything, then I'll freaking wrap up. I ain't scared to wrap up. I ain't scared to stop talking. Don't threaten me with a good time, because I'll definitely lay down, freaking just chilling, watch another good old movie with analogy about how everybody's getting tricked into working for nothing. So anyway, again, guys, if you don't have any questions, then I will wrap up this beautiful Friday. This will be one of the very short lives. I've been on here for about 20 minutes, and there's not a lot of traffic going on right now. It is after a major holiday, and people are probably out shopping. And I actually, before this video, I watched a really great one on, it's called Buy More. It's a documentary on how all the corporations don't plan for end of life of any products, where all the waste goes, when they end up basically making you shred good products because they don't want stuff just going in the trash. They would rather shred perfectly good Louis Vuitton bags and all this stuff instead of having anything put out for anybody. So Slick Vic, do you use the IRS for anything? I can. I have entities that are under the IRS's jurisdiction. I have entities that are not. And I have entities, the only entity that I know of that can deal in Federal Reserve notes, as long as it's not for profit and not give up jurisdiction, is a corporation sole. So that's one of the entities that I have and I deal with. I have certain trusts that have to report to the IRS, including my U.S. citizen. When my U.S. citizen's engaged in for-profit in a federal zone, it files taxes. That's just kind of the way it's set up. But you can also use them to enforce stuff for you, as long as you have all your ducks in a row and you're doing the proper stuff, and understand the way things work. That everybody that is federally registered is bound by general accounting practices and has to abide by the federal rules and regulations. So you can call them out on all kinds of stuff, including getting them people in our corporations and private administrative procedures. So Slick Vic, no, I already answered that. Ronan, you added to my YouTube playlist. What did you add to your YouTube playlist? What is Are you talking about? I hope you're talking about my videos because oh my, you want to see how I'm shadow banned and even more? Go on YouTube. In my last video I posted on YouTube, I wrote down because it's so funny. I wrote down in the comments, I'm like, to the 10 people that this video will go out to, I hope this helps, because that's how much traffic I get on YouTube. 10 views. 10 views. That's where it's getting blasted at. Ronan, I saw the trailer for that today. It looked interesting. If you're talking about Buy More, yeah, it's very interesting. It gets into everything, including like how Amazon is a big company, right? Amazon, they say in this video that Amazon specifically tailored every single pixel on their website to maximize profit. They literally ran tests on everything, including like, if you buy $10 more, you'll get $25 off. And they highlighted the $25 in red, and then on another program they put it in blue, and then they put it in purple, and they put it in green, and they're able to test and see who buys more depending on even what color a simple little thing is, because people are, we are kind of like animals, and corporations know all these tricks. They know how to entice us with hot chicks that look happy because they're buying stuff. So it's like, oh, I got to get my wife happy, get this purse, or she ain't gonna look like that, or and you go to these fast food restaurants and they have bright colors that make your body feel uneasy, because they just want you to eat and get out. They don't want you to hang out and use their free Wi-Fi and stuff like that. So anyway, Ronan, LOL, I can't find you without searching hard. Yeah, it's hard. I'm kind of shadow banned, and what's funny, I'll look on my videos and I'll have people that find me under Chaz Rules, Chaz Raz, like all these weird names, and it's like, how are you even finding me under this search? But yeah, and I hate to say it because it does charge you, and unless you subscribe to me, you're not going to know when I post a video. I have people that are like, oh dang, you've posted 12 videos, and it's like, oh yeah, I mean, because they don't inform anybody. They don't tell, I'm shadow banned hard. It just is what it is. Ronan, what's crazy is that we know this but won't stop shopping on Amazon. Yeah, and I made a purchase just recently because I needed some Vicks Vapor Rub, and I was just kind of like, I really didn't feel like going to the store. And then sometimes it's cheaper on Amazon. Not all the time, but for instance, I buy these pure gums, and when I go in the store at Fresh Market, and Fresh Market is so expensive, oh my gosh, but I could get 3 packs on Amazon for the price of 1 in the store. So it's like, why would I even, unless I'm there shopping, grabbing one and want to spend more on it, why wouldn't I? And Amazon, they said specifically that when they set up their site, they tried to make it to where they wanted a person to imagine a conveyor belt, just your product going directly from wherever you buy it while you're laying in bed, just coming directly to you and dropping in your lap. Like that's how they want you to feel when you're purchasing on that. Like they want you to be the laziest consumer you possibly could. And then what these giant megalo corporations end up doing is, because they're so massive and monstrous, and they get to control the lion's share of the monopoly, that all these little moms and pops can't really compete with the overhead, because they've got to pay rent, they've got to pay all the electricity, they've got to pay all this stuff to house, and that's why shops are more expensive when you actually go to these places, because of all the overhead. You have to pay for air conditioning, you got to pay for the employees, the security, you got to pay for the lights, the toilet, you got to pay for, all that's factored into the product that you're buying that's just sitting on the shelf. Now, when you're purchasing directly from Amazon, and if they go in straight to the manufacturer, you're cutting out all that overhead, and you're able to get stuff streamlined straight to you. Ronan, LOL, we like the Disney movie WALL-E. Yeah, that's what they showed on the preview for Buy More, was they showed like the Earth ending up being like the WALL-E, where everything's just full of trash and they just have to compact everything, because it's just, all of the companies. And then another thing they said, other than not caring about the end of life, was they don't want anybody to fix their stuff. So back when they used to create light bulbs that would last for 10 10 or 100 years, they were like, the company's like, we can't do this. We don't want our light bulbs lasting 100 years. We want people to go out and buy more. We want these products to end up breaking. So they did something called planned obsolescence or manufactured lack, where it's like, they don't want you buying a product once for the rest of your life. They want you to keep coming back. That's why you have all these fake expiration dates on food. That's why, and they end up throwing away and trashing all of these extra products that don't get bought and stuff like that. And then they don't want you fixing anything. If something's wrong with your phone, they started making these custom bolts and stuff where you can't get in it. And iPod earbuds, they have, there was a company called iFixit. And they said iPods, what they do is they actually glue the battery inside of the housing so that you cannot take it apart without destroying it. And the battery life is like 12, 15 months. So it's like no matter what, your duct tape with those earpods or earbuds, unless you get like some off-brand charging base or something like that. But other than that, you can't fix the thing. So, and that just creates more e-waste. And what all these big companies do is they end up subbing all of the e-waste out to third world countries or whatever that have really low standards of living and really low regulations for like toxic metals and heavy stuff like cadmium, lead, and all that stuff that's really hurtful to you. Hartfield, is the blue at the bottom of the screen a sigil? I don't even know what a sigil is. This is a logo that I created that stands for CNJ. And that is one of the nonprofits, that spiritual society that I started for me and my family. And it's I like it because it's a fish hook that's spinning in all directions, because I'm a fisher of people, a fisher of trying to help people out, like basically like trying to reel y'all in to get some knowledge, like come here, get some good stuff. Anyway, that's the story behind the insignia of the logos. Normally it's gold, but I was like, I like changing stuff up, so I went through green and now I'm on blue, and I don't know what color I'll pick next. And I changed the background, so it just kind of gets kind of monotonous when I have 70 lives. I think I'm on my 72nd live or something now. It just looks kind of crazy when they're all the same, all the same, all the same. So I just switch it up every 5, 6, 7 of them. Slick Vic, do you have a green card for a non-citizen? I don't have a green card. I helped my first wife get a green card when we got married. I was 20 something back then. That was before I started learning all this commercial stuff. But yeah, I helped her. It took, she kind of tricked me into saying it would only take a couple years, and it ended up taking 5.5. Cost a lot of money. And then she basically said that if I cheat on her, it will be proved that it is a fake marriage and I'll go to jail. And then she cheated. Then I was like, I ain't doing that. So then she ended up just cheating on me. So she played me pretty good, and I didn't know this at the time. I'm probably not going to talk about that, but certain girls that are getting green cards will, some of them will pay you to do it, but that wasn't what I was trying to do. I liked the girl a lot. I loved her, but I wasn't in love with her. But I didn't want her to get deported, so I decided to marry her, and we were together for probably 5.5, 6 years, something like that. And then my second wife, we made it daggone 8.5, something like that. I think 8. But anyway, that's a good old my backstory. But hey, this whole thing ends up just being me giving dialogue and like diary. So like I end up just, if nobody asks any questions, I just start spitting like all kinds of random things that I've gone through or done or what's going on with me. So this ends up being like a dialogue of my my history. It's like a diary that's going on, verbal diarrhea diary. But anyway, again, a recap of this live will be on YouTube. The audio will be in my Telegram group. Feel free to browse around on my website. My website has free information for anybody should you choose to just browse around and enlighten your paths of nature, spirit, and commerce. I'm laying those foundations of those lights for everybody. I have created playlists to help re-educate everybody. It's a lot to it. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, it'll take a couple hours to go through my playlist. I have a plan of creating a video once I get to 200,000 likes. of just like giving thanks to some of my supportive fans. Like I've saved some of the cool comments and stuff like that. But honestly, it might take me 6 months. It might take me 7-8 months to get the last 10,000 likes. The way I'm getting throttled down on YouTube is so bad, or on TikTok is so bad that I don't know how in the world. Ronan, how can I marry someone without contracting with the government? So it's really easy. It's the same thing as a relationship. You and the other person have to agree that y'all want to take that step, and then you can do something called like a ketubah, which is like a memorialization. Or you can set up all kinds of terms and conditions, and it depends on if you're trying to like enforce it in the public of your marriage. But really, the true marriage is between you and another human, like what y'all agree to on the terms and conditions. That's the real relationship, which is the root of the source that ends up y'all creating the contract that you can or don't have to register to the government. That's basically all up to you. And you can have a common law marriage just from being shacked up with a chick or a guy for, I think, 8 years or something in certain states, or 5 years or something like that. But yes, you can most certainly do it. My second wife was in like manner. I didn't register it to the government. Anything you register to the corporate state, they get to control. Okay, so that's how I fashioned my second marriage. My first marriage was fully controlled by the government, the state. My first wife, we were trying to get a green card, and that was actually what kind of kept us together through a few of the fights that we were going through. It wasn't easy, but that ultimate goal was to hopefully get her green card. Civil marriage don't need stay. Yep. Common law marriage. Yep, that's right. Thank you, Plant Mystic. Ronan, will my employer recognize it for health benefits? So you can create an affidavit, or you can create you can write it in a Bible. Once you have witnesses, and create a certificate. It doesn't have to be, like I say, you can do a katabla. I looked it up earlier today. I know how to do it. History, baby. Yeah, so it was called a ketubah, Ketubah. It's called a ketubah, which will give you a good example of how you can write up it's almost like you can do a prenup, or you can do like a continual contract where y'all are, coming up with your own terms and conditions. But you can do an affidavit of marriage. You can do a certificate. You can create a certificate. You can write it in the Bible. You can have something recorded in a county recorder's office that says y'all are married. You can do all kinds of stuff in order to enforce that kind of stuff into the public so that they can recognize it. That's what I did. Wait, what? I heard where some of the strong man and things like that used to work, but laws of them put in place. I'm real confused. I heard here some of the strong. Are you talking about straw man and things like that used to work, but laws of them put in place? Are you talking about like straw man, not the strong man? You talking about the U.S. citizen? Ronan, exactly. I don't want to contract with the state. Yeah. So you and your spouse, y'all can get married. But if you use a licensed official, they're going to try to record it in the county, and you don't have to do that. You can have someone marry you. You can, or you can just do it under the eyes of God, or you can hail a spiritual union. Y'all can come together, and y'all can. It's basically y'all are doing business together. It's commerce. It's a relationship. But really, that's ultimately what it is it's a relationship. Now, whether or not you want to record it in the county or not, it's all up to you. Kit Kat, I watched your DTC video. Thank you for explaining. The sponsor you were referring to was a bank. No, I don't know who the sponsor is, Kit Kat. I think the sponsor is someone who works in the DTC. To give you a participant number. And one of the reasons why I didn't go through it is because it felt kind of like it was a vampire that you had to like get invited into some secret club, like some weird club or something, And it just kind of felt a little bit off back then. I wasn't really trying to go down that rabbit trail. If you're driving, dude, yeah, I'm sorry. You can always DM me. Wait, what? You don't have to try to text on here while you're traveling. Ronan, it's a contract, right? Yes, it is a contract. Marriage is a contract that can have a title that you can hold, you and your spouse can hold, or you can give it up and over to the state. That's up to you. Y'all can memorialize it. That's kind of what that is. You're memorializing what y'all agreed upon. If y'all agree to be husband and wife under God, you can write that down. You can put it on a certificate. You can put it on a ketubah. Is that what it's called? A ketubah. Look that up. Somebody mentioned that on my video, and I'd never heard of that before. But it's basically the same thing. It's like you just have a certificate of agreement of union with witnesses, because through 2 or more witnesses may everything be established, right? You have to have, you can't judge your own case, you know, that kind of thing. So it's just all about what the public can accept and view, you know, and you can have an affidavit of matrimony. I think that's what I did. I had an affidavit of matrimony, and I had a certificate with witnesses and stuff like that. And that's what I used to get health care from my employer before they fired me for not getting the juice. And I'm almost ready to start revealing some of the stuff that's been going on with all that in the background. It's wild. My life has been a very wild ride. But anyway. Oh, good. Yeah, I'm glad you're gonna reach out to me later. So, guys, feel free to ask any of y'all questions. I know there's not a big crowd in here because of the Turkey Day that just happened and whatnot. Oh yeah, sorry, and the Black Friday. So that's what. And you know, it's funny, the people that said that all these trash, all these big old loads of trash where these corporations throw away all these brand new products, including food and snacks and shoes, water, like anything you can think of, just to get them off the shelves that somebody didn't buy. You can see them up in cycles after every holiday. So you got Valentine's Day, you got Halloween, then you got Labor Day, and then you got you know, Black Friday and Christmas and all this stuff. They're all just corporate greedy basically blips on the screen that every company banks off of to try to get more commerce. Like I can't explain how many emails I got today talking about Black Friday. Like emails from companies that I don't hear any day out of the year until Black Friday helps out. They're like, we're digging out all the archives. We're pushing out, like, I'm not trying to buy Zoom right now. I'm not trying to go to Kate Jewelers. I'm not trying to go to Segway. Like, I'm just like on and on and on and on. But anyway, again, it's a little low, so I'm at the bottom of my list, and I have had some long conversations between a beautiful girl and a friend of mine. Well, I'm gonna call him my friend now. I had back-to-back conversations, so I am getting a little over talking. And if there are no further questions, I will wrap up and try to see y'all next Friday. I will have bachata next Friday, I believe. That's my on the 6th, I think. Yep. Yeah, so I will have. I'll come on a little later too on that day. So anyway, again, guys, love you. Thank you for coming out and joining us, spending a little bit of time with me. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up. Thanks for all the shares, the likes, and follows. I can't believe I got 4,000 freaking likes already. Much appreciated to all y'all that have hung out with me and trying to become enlightened. So feel free to DM me, email me, write me, you can call me, check out my website. All that stuff's free for y'all. Enjoy your weekend. Hope you've had an extended great one, though the temperature's dropping where I'm at. So anyway, you guys have a good one. I will catch you next time. All right, bye.